Well, we're back at the garage today to do some shop work, I guess. We had some really nice weather last week, and it's actually very sunny today, but you can see we have a pretty heavy frost, and it has been pretty cold, and especially cold at night. So we are back out of the fields for now. So been working on some more stuff in the shop. Got this 806 in, working on it. Got our yearly supply of filters ordered. I don't know, there's 40 or something in there. Little ones at least. Got 2 air filters right there, but those are the small of the air filters. The big ones we're still waiting on. So this 806, we did a seal underneath it here, and I didn't get a video or photo of it with it off, but we had the steering wheel off. The old steering wheel was junk, so we put a new steering wheel on it, new cover to protect where the seal is, and then a new boot down here just to help protect all that. But we put a new seal on the they call it the hand pump, the steering shaft. So did that, and then we got my grandfather's little mower in here and well, that's what it looks like. Hopefully someday it looks like it's a little tractor with a deck on it, and hopefully someday it looks like a little tractor again. But we've got it in a couple pieces right now. So didn't think it was going to be quite that big of a job. So it was getting to the point where it just was leaking a ton of oil from the rear end, the transmission. So it was leaking here. There's a seal there, an O-ring there. It was leaking the 4-wheel drive input shaft, and then it was also leaking, I believe, right here, which this is the PTO drive for the mower deck. So it was also leaking there. So we have this seal, there's a seal there, O-ring there. I guess this can sometimes be an issue, so we got this seal as well. And then, oh, there's an O-ring behind this one with a seal bearing on the front. So we got that as well. So we got some of the parts. We're waiting on the rest for that, so we can get this thing back together. We want to get it put back together as quick as possible, just so we don't forget anything that we did or need to do. So we're hoping those come in soon and we can get this thing back together, because she is tore apart pretty far at this point. So this is the 3-point, and this is where the ROPS mounts, rear fenders, rear tires. So yeah, this thing is really tore apart. So hopefully we get the parts back for this fairly soon and we can get it back together. Still got to split the 1206 and put a clutch in that. Hopefully we get that done in time. But yeah, so we've just been working on some stuff in the garage. Well, working on my dad's old 97 Dodge Cummins today. Got the exhaust manifold and the turbo off. So he broke the back 4 bolts off on the exhaust manifold bolts off in the head. So we are going to try to weld a nut. So this is where it is, but it's in the back 2 cylinders. We're going to try to weld a nut onto the busted off stud and see if we can get it out, because they're busted off flush. Now we do have a 5th one here. The head broke when this is when we were taking it off. Those broke driving it. This broke off flush, so we should be able to get that one out pretty easy. We're going to try to get the other 4 out by welding a nut onto them. So we're going to try that now and see what happens. Hopefully it works. All right, so we were able to get well, actually there ended up being 5 broken bolts flush at the head, and then there was the one that was broke off right at the manifold. We were able to screw that one out with a set of vice grips, and then I was actually able to weld a nut. I put a nut up flush to the head and welded on the stud, and we were actually able to back 4 out of the 5 out. So we have 11 new bolts, and then my dad actually has a little clamp. It's all the way on the back top. Can't even probably show you. You can see the end of the clamp right there. So we got 11 new bolts in that clamp. He wanted to run that. He's been running it for a few days. It's been fine. It should be fine. But the other alternative to get that last broken bolt out way back there would have been to all this on the top off, and then unbolting the head, which is the bolts all along there, and from here up would have had to come off. And so we could have done that to drill it, to actually be able to drill that one out, but being it was all the way at the back, we could not drill any of them really. So we were able to get 4 out of the 5 out. We felt pretty good about that. We're gonna see how this does. Hopefully it'll be fine, but yeah, got her back together, so I was glad for that. Well, one good thing about getting up early is you get to see the nice sunrise. We're gonna get started working on the planter and see if we can't get quite a bit done today. Let's see what happens. So I've got all the back units put back together, got all the new openers put on, inner scrapers. I think I showed all of that. Got the gauge wheels back on, rebushed the closing wheel brackets, all the new closing wheels on, and then got our Keaton seed firmer with where we're going to drop liquid out. So got that all lined up. Should be good to go as far as that. So the seed will drop down right there. This will make sure it pushes down in the groove, keeps it all the way at the bottom. The liquid will drop into the row right there, and then the closing wheels will close it. So kind of an interesting thing I don't think I've showed. These are Yetter twisters, and they're very popular, and for several reasons. One of the things I like about them is they have the way they're designed, as they come around and hit the soil, they actually help pull soil in as they come around on the angle. So that's kind of nice. That does a good job. So got all the openers, Keaton seed firmers, closing wheels on the back, got them all put back together. Still got to rebush the units. There's several that we're definitely going to have to do. Might not get them all done before we start, but like I said, I think we're going to be at least another week at this point. I was thinking it was going to be sooner, but now the weather's not looking too great. They show a big cold front actually coming across most of even the Corn Belt, and then coming across us as well. So we probably we'll probably wait. I just get nervous myself, and maybe it's just because I'm a newer farmer, but I don't like putting things in the ground when it's real cold and taking the chance that it will rot and not come up. So then also you can see there's 4 silver pieces there. One of them's off. We'll have to adjust the main beam. I'll show you over on this side. You can see the planter is kind of leaning a little bit. So there's wear pads, and they need to be adjusted in so that we can level the planter up. So then, today we'll be working on pulling off all the openers on the front. So we don't have to do the Keaton seed firmers or the closing wheels on the front units, but I still am going to put all new openers and all new scrapers on. And then we'll actually be pulling these no-till colders off. We're not going to use them. I do some no-tilling, but a lot of guys, and I actually haven't tried it yet, we're going to try it this year, but from a lot of guys I've talked to and a lot of things I've read, these newer planters with newer openers, good openers, and how big they are and how heavy these planters are, you just don't need the no-till colder on the front. And what I was running into is, you know, this is a wavy colder. Well, every time that it intersected the seed, I was having issues with there being a different depth. And maybe it's just me and how I have them set, but I just wasn't real happy with it. So we're gonna take them off and try running without them. So yep, we're gonna get to work on it and see what we can get done. Well, we're done for the evening. Got all the new openers on, new scrapers, put the new inner scrapers on, or the wear guides for the scrapers at the bottom. There have been 5 new ones put on last year when I got the planter, so rather than replacing them, there's no reason I use those. So there's 2 there, and 1 down there. So I use those, but the rest are brand new, so they're all full 15 inches. You can kind of tell because they're all right out to this scraper, or not scraper, but guard for the front of the openers. You can kind of tell. So got everything back on, other than them few gauge wheels down there. We got to get those on, and then we'll be done. Tomorrow we're gonna be getting the planter hooked to the or the 886 hooked to the planter, and then we gotta adjust the rail for the main beam. So we'll be doing that, and yeah, we're gonna be getting ready to plant corn and beans. Unfortunately, the weather is looking pretty terrible for the next week, but hey, at least it'll be ready. So, well, I appreciate you guys watching and staying tuned for the next video.